Welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton, and welcome to tonight's EFC 24/7 report, where tonight the transfer stories focus heavily on our search for a new centre-back. And with that in mind, it's no surprise to see the name Zouma pop up again on the show. After the free Zouma saga of last summer, it looks as though the chance of Zouma returning for a second spell at Goodison was quite slim, but today, the French publication Le Sport suggests that Everton could be willing to pay up to €40 million to Chelsea to bring him back to Goodison. Personally, I'd be astonished if this happened. I don't think we'd pay that much, firstly. Secondly, I don't think that Zouma will be a good investment, given we already have four very good centre-backs here. And we only really need cover temporarily, I think. So a loan would be a better idea. And finally, and most importantly, we should not be doing business with Frank Lampard and Chelsea after they dragged this very saga itself out last summer and made it a difficult window for us as a result. I think we'd be better placed looking elsewhere, in my opinion. And with that in mind, there are a few more centre-back options that have surfaced in the news today, so there's loads to get through. Firstly, a name that's also been linked very heavily in recent months already, Jean-Clair Todibo. Spanish outlet Mundo Deportivo suggests that Barcelona could lower their asking price for Todibo. They're keen to get a deal sorted before the deadline day because they want to get funds in to pay for their own transfers. The fee now is rumoured to be around €25 million, which in my opinion, again, is pretty steep, especially for a player I'm not completely sold on. Anyways, Fulham are also interested, according to this report, and despite Barca's intentions to sell him permanently, Everton are still trying to convince Barca to allow him to move to Everton on loan, which I agree is definitely the best move that we can make as far as Todibo is concerned at this stage. I wouldn't be pursuing a permanent deal anytime soon. The other centre-backs we've got to get through, another with a few past rumours linking him to Everton, is Ben Godfrey of Norwich City. The Athletic suggests that we could be after him along with German clubs Dortmund and Leipzig. And for me, that's never bad company to be in when it comes to making transfers. I think Dortmund and Leipzig very rarely make dud transfers. They're always very smart deals that those two clubs make. So Godfrey, I reckon, must have something about him if those clubs are considering a move for him as well. Either way, if we are to land Godfrey, this article suggests that we'd have to part with around 30 million to seal the deal. So again, a pretty penny to say the least. So given that we already have four decent defenders on the books, I'm not sure whether that's something we'll pursue, but either way, I think it'd be a great player to have at the club. So let's see what happens there. If we did want a cheaper alternative, though, there is always tonight's fourth and final centre-back rumour, which takes us to Serie A. That player is Gleison Bremer, who plays for Torino. We've been linked with him a few times in recent weeks, but we might need to get our skates on now, I think, because Football Insider suggests that Leicester are plotting a move for the player, a 23-year-old Brazilian centre-back. So, with the right age for what Everton are trying to build, of course, but obviously Leicester have got similar intentions and maybe looking for him as well. They might be looking for a more permanent deal, which Torino might be more keen on selling him permanently. Everton, like I say, the rumours linking us with Gleison Bremer was suggesting a loan deal, and I would agree that that would be the best move for us. I'd rather we didn't go for a permanent deal right now, given that we do have depth in the position when everybody is fit. But we'll wait and see what happens on the defensive front. That's the lot as far as centre-back links are concerned. But we will stay in Serie A. We've got one more rumoured arrival, and it was another possible arrival from Carlo Ancelotti's former club Napoli. It's been linked for a couple of days now, quite heavily. I think Arkadiusz Milik, the Polish striker, it was claimed we were convinced to pay 25 million for him, but now the Italian journalist Carlo Alvino, who is part of the Sky Italia team, has now come out and rubbished those claims. He says that a move such as this is not viable because Everton already have options in attack, and Ancelotti does not prioritise bringing in a striker, and that includes Arkadiusz Milik. And fair play to Alvino, I'd agree with that completely. It's actually pleasing to see this summer that we're not throwing money around as recklessly as we may have done in the past for positions that aren't the priority. And given how things have gone so far this season, I'm more than happy to trust Ancelotti and Marcel Brands on their transfer priorities right now. Just one more update on possible outgoings, and Carlo Ancelotti has apparently spoken out about Theo Walcott, who has of course been linked with a move away from Everton recently. Phil Kirkbride in the Echo wrote today that Ancelotti isn't necessarily planning on getting rid of Theo, and Carlo has in fact called him a player who is professional, serious in training and always ready. Carlo states that it just happens to be the circumstance that he finds himself subject to higher competition in the squad this season for his place. And let's be honest, that can only be a good thing as far as Everton are concerned moving forward. It helps us raise the standards, and so far this season, that seems to have definitely been the case if the results are anything to go by. And long may that continue, of course. But finally, the real story of the weekend is, let's be honest, the rise of the Everton song Spirit of the Blues in the charts. Yes, that's right, an Everton song is #1 in the Apple iTunes download chart, thanks to Everton fans going crazy for the tune after a series of dancing memes were made over the weekend, with Fink Hitch on Twitter in particular playing his part in this trend that really came to the fore on Saturday night after we beat Crystal Palace, and it's just gone from strength to strength because, of course, on Sunday we started downloading this in the droves and it's gone to the top of the iTunes chart, and then of course Zcar's had to follow in its footsteps today, and today that's climbed up to #2 behind Spirit of the Blues. So what a mad time this is, what a great time it is to be an Evertonian, and what a mad bunch we are. I would not change it for the world. Evertonians are absolutely second to none, and this is just the latest evidence of that. And on that note, we'll finish for today. But be sure to see if it really is good news for the Blues tomorrow, and tune into tomorrow's Everton 24/7 report. Subscribe to the channel and get your notifications on for when those videos are getting published. And don't forget to like this video as well and drop us a comment. Let us know what you make of all the stories that have been covered in this show tonight. Anyway, that's all for me for tonight, and until next time, thank you guys for watching on the Toffee Blues.